Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 435. Today I am going over the best landing spots for the top free agents in the NFL for the 2021 NFL offseason. But before getting into that topic, question for those of you viewing: who leads in all-time solo tackles? One of the best defensive players of all time. You should probably get this. If not, I will reveal the answer at the end. But if you do know it, comment it down below. But getting into this topic, just so it is well known, this isn't a debate of who I think is the top NFL free agents this offseason. It's a debate of where they should go. But getting right into it, number one on my list is, of course, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL today, Shaq Barrett, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In my opinion, best landing spot for him would personally, a biased opinion, being a Bucs fan, would of course be back with Tampa Bay. And I actually think, unbiasedly, he has a good chance returning to Tampa Bay just because of Tom Brady. He's going to restructure his contract. Mike Evans says he'll restructure his contract. And between the three tight ends on that team, Gronk, Cameron Brate, and O.J. Howard, I think one of them will get cut, saving, more likely Brate or O.J. Howard, saving the team $6 million. Obviously, that's not going to pay for Shaq Barrett himself, but that is just a couple steps of how they work towards it. But if the Bucs do not work out, I assume he will end up with a team that has a lot of cap space, and the leading teams with the cap space are, of course, Jacksonville Jaguars and New York Jets, and even the Colts. I think if they lose Justin Houston to free agency, they have a lot of cap space themselves. They could be looking at Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett has said he is looking to break the bank. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and one with the Denver Broncos, who is another possible landing spot for him. Maybe he's looking for a reunion in Denver if they lose Von Miller. But to me, if he's chasing the bank, I think the Jaguars or the Jets are the best spot for him. But I think the Bucs is the most likely, in my opinion, and the best landing spot for him and his money once is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. Moving on, arguably the top receiver in NFL free agency right now is Kenny Golladay, Lions receiver. Of course, I'm not going to include Chris Godwin and Allen Robinson because they received the franchise tags from their teams and they're going to be staying there. Kenny Golladay, top free agent, like I said. I don't see him returning to the Detroit Lions. I think he's tired of losing. And of course, since he lost Matthew Stafford, which would probably be the only attraction point for him staying, is now gone with LA. I don't think he wants anything to do with a losing team that has Jared Goff at quarterback. So I think the best possible spot has a good chance to be the Miami Dolphins. There's no tax there. A lot of players like that, or no state tax there. A lot of players like that, so he'll be making more money. He'll be on a winning team. I don't know if he really is invested in Tua Tagovailoa, but like I said, it's sunny Florida. He might have an attraction there rather than being in Detroit. A couple other teams would be the Baltimore Ravens, who are in desperate need for a receiver. The Colts, like I said, and of course I think I'm going to be saying the Jets and Jaguars a lot throughout this just because they have the most cap space. They're going to be able to overpay these guys. But to me, the Miami Dolphins would be the best for the Kenny Golladay. He'd probably get a pay upgrade and a complete new environment where he's going to be able to become a competitor and show off how really good he is. Not that Matt Stafford wasn't able to do that with him, but Detroit being such a bad team, they're constantly on defense. They never really had the ball that much because of their lack of talent. I think in Miami, complete different scenery for him, and it will definitely be a bigger name in the NFL. That would be my ideal spot for Kenny Golladay. Moving on to kind of a boring topic, offensive linemen, but they are definitely one of the top free agents, of course. Trent Williams, one of the top left tackle, arguably the top left tackle hitting the free agent market from the San Francisco 49ers. He's 33 and has some injury-prone problems, but when healthy, he's easily the top free agent at left tackle in this 2021 offseason. And to me, this is going to be a fight between the Jets, Jaguars, and Cincinnati Bengals just because they have all the cap space and they all need an offensive line to surround their future quarterback. Trevor Lawrence with the Jags, Joe Burrow with the Bengals, and I'm assumingly so Zach Wilson with the Jets. Even if it's not, Sam Darnold needs protection himself. So I think Trent Williams has a good chance to end up with the Bengals. I think we are going to see them trying to address offensive linemen in free agency, and then at 5th overall, try and pick up a weapon for Joe Burrow, whether it be Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase. And if they don't, they will go with Penei Sewell. But to me, Trent Williams to the Bengals would allow them to address offensive weapons in the NFL draft rather than protection. So to me, Bengals is a top landing spot for Trent Williams. Another offensive lineman, just to get them over with, last one I promise, Joe Thuney, offensive guard for the Patriots, one of the best guards in the NFL, is hitting the free agent market. I think there's a good chance he returns to New England, but if he does not, this kind of shouts out fighting the Bengals and Chargers fighting for him at this point. I think if Trent Williams hasn't over to Cincinnati, they won't be as aggressive for Joe Thuney. but Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers desperately need protection for Herbert, so I think they will offer him a big check. They lost Trey Turner, they lost the Pouncey brother, and they already have one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and they have the number 13th overall pick in the NFL draft. I think they should use that to pick up Elijah Vera Tucker and pair him up with Joe Thuney, and he had two great interior guards on that team already. Yes, you'll need to address the tackle position, but when your interior is set up, you'll still get protection for Justin Herbert, but more importantly, that will help open up the run game. I know that's not Thuney's hot topic. He's more of a pass blocker, but he's still capable of blocking or setting up a block for the run game. So I think Chargers is the best spot for Joe Thuney. If not, I think it'll be the Bengals or, of course, the Jets and Jags. Just assume they're going to be in the fight for every player because of the amount of cap space they have. Moving on, Bud Dupree, linebacker / defensive end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did not franchise tag him this year. In a way, surprising. In a way, not. He was looking for a lot of money, and the Steelers already have a solid defense without him with T.J. Watt, Devin Bush, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden. So I do think he has a chance to go back there because he's already been with Pittsburgh, and that talent there could use him, but they are fine without him. So I could honestly see him going to the Jaguars because I already made a video about the Jaguars and their free agent spots a while back. I said he would be a great addition there to Myles Jack and Josh Allen, the defense line, because he can help out both of them. He could drop back and fall into coverage, or he can help out the pass rush with Josh Allen, and I think the Jaguars will be willing to overpay him, which he is probably more than likely looking for. I think Bud Dupree is a great spot for the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion, to help out that captain on the defense, Myles Jack. And then, of course, Seahawks and Titans could definitely use a pass rusher themselves. The Titans are going to lose Jadeveon Clowney. Seahawks are going to lose Carlos Dunlap. A lot of options, but Jaguars is my number one spot for Bud Dupree. Moving on, Hunter Henry, Los Angeles Chargers tight end. I like Hunter Henry, and I think the best spot he ends up in is back with the Los Angeles Chargers. However, there are going to be a couple teams without tight ends that will be looking for a replacement as well, such as the Packers losing Robert Tonyan, such as the Titans losing Jonnu Smith. So there's a good chance he could go there. But I see Hunter Henry going to a team such as the Chargers or Bengals, or even the Titans or even the Cardinals with the young quarterbacks such as Burrow, Herbert, and Murray that really like to go towards their tight ends as safety blankets, as red zone targets, and I think either of those teams will be able to address it and fight for Hunter Henry and give him the pay he wants. But if I had to put my money on it, and I think the best landing spot will be for Hunter Henry landing up back in Los Angeles with Justin Herbert. I think they will work out a good long-term deal. Moving on, Aaron Jones, one of the top running backs, if not the top running back in the free agent market from the Green Bay Packers, I think will be going to the Miami Dolphins. It's already been expressed that they've had mutual interest. Of course, returning to Green Bay is an option, but they drafted A.J. Dillon in the second round last year, and he has shown that he has talent, and he's shown he's cheap on a rookie contract. Aaron Jones is due for big money, and I don't think the Packers will pay for it. I like him with the Miami Dolphins, but a team that could use him even more than the Dolphins would be the Buffalo Bills or Pittsburgh Steelers. Either of those teams could desperately use a running back upgrade. However, I think the Steelers and Bills will be addressing the run game in the draft with Travis Etienne or Najee Harris or Trey Sermon, and I like Aaron Jones to go to the Miami Dolphins. I think that'll help out Tua significantly. Myles Gaskins can get the job done, but I think Aaron Jones will completely help out that team and possibly make them a playoff team. Another one, Cam Newton. Not sure how big of a free agent target he is, but he's one of the biggest names in the NFL. I think the best chance of him returning to New England, or I think the best chance is for him to return to New England, and the other two options would be the Chicago Bears, just because they're quarterback desperate, or the Washington football team, who's also quarterback desperate, but also having head coach Ron Rivera, who coached Cam Newton in Carolina. I think the most likely spot would be for him to end up in New England with Bill Belichick again, but I think the best landing spot would be, of course, with Ron Rivera and the Washington football team, who is in a win-now situation, got a lockdown defense, got an underrated receiver in Terry McLaurin, good running back in Antonio Gibson, solid offensive line. However, I don't know if Ron Rivera even wants Cam Newton back. We will have to see. And then the last free agent on my list is Yannick Ngakoue, the pass rusher for the Baltimore Ravens. Solid pass rusher, pretty young. I think, to me, he's had some better days with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but to me, I think he will be returning to the Ravens more than likely. If not, I could see him going to the Buffalo Bills, who indeed need a pass rush, or also, like I said, a couple other teams, or the Ravens or the Seahawks and Titans. The Seahawks and Titans, who are losing their big pass rushers in Jadeveon Clowney and Carlos Dunlap. But the Bills, to me, scream Yannick Ngakoue, and I think they'll reach out for him and give him the money they need. Bills aren't in the best cap situation, but Yannick Ngakoue is not going to be the most expensive guy out there. Yes, he'll be looking for a heavy price tag, but not as much as Shaq Barrett or Von Miller. He'll be right in a solid market to me for the Buffalo Bills that can extremely help out their pass rush. But overall, those are my best landing spots. Yeah, there's a couple honorable mentions out there, such as William Jackson with the Bengals, John Johnson with the Rams, and Leonard Floyd with the Rams. Lots of options out there, but those are just the top 10 names that really came to my head. But overall, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Where do you think the best landing spots for these guys are with this crazy offseason in the quarterback carousel? And for your question, for those of you viewing, the all-time leader in tackles or solo tackles is, of course, one of the best linebackers of all time, Ray Lewis for the Baltimore Ravens. Thanks for watching, guys. 2 in the morning.